This go-kart race is one of the most dramatic go-kart races I have ever driven in my life. And I can guarantee you that pretty much no one expected this result.
We have a tight battle for both drivers and constructors championship, and it's between Team Pit Parts and Team Kart Tessel. You Minister of Defence, and his name is Mr. Bram Ossavada. Now Vita goes for the move on Dunbosch, but they touch. Oh, and Ossavada has nowhere to go!
Alright, here's the context for this race. It is the last round of the Dutch Tillotson T4 series in 2024. So right now we are in P4 in the championship standings, and even though it is mathematically possible to move up to P3, yeah, it's unlikely. So with us being pretty much 100% sure of our P4 finish in the final standings, our team shifted more towards helping the team. Team Pit Parts is currently leading the Constructors Championship, the Senior Championship and also the Senior Rookie Championship, with 2 drivers from the biggest rival team hot on our tail. So the goal for this weekend? Help Team Pit Parts become Dutch champion. So guys, we are here at the TT track in Assen. Of course, we are back with Pit Parts and my teammates. We are back in the tent. This time we have a fucking shit mechanic.
I don't get paid enough.
So, let's see what we can do. Now, for this weekend, we are at the TT Junior track in Assen. And if you are into bike racing, then you might know that TT in Assen is one of the biggest motorcycle tracks ever. But not a lot of people know that there's actually a junior track right next to the big track, which is mainly used for mini bikes and kart racing. It is a pretty interesting track with a lot of medium speed corners and a tricky technical final sector. Now, if you think back to our last race, which was in the Rotax Max Senior category, you will remember that we have become a little bit too tall and heavy, and that causes some handling problems in that class. But because this class works totally different, here it causes a different problem: a lack of straight line speed. But as the practice day was advancing, it turned out that we were actually quite fast despite our straight line speed problem. I would say that we were only about 2 to 3 tenths off of the fastest guys, which was a real surprise, but definitely a welcome one. And to be honest, I think that we benefit from our aggressive driving style. The tires that the T4 series uses are quite a hard compound, and they are pretty difficult to warm up sometimes. You can definitely see that because I am more aggressive with my tires, especially at the beginning of the session, we have a little bit of a grip advantage and we can overtake drivers in the first lap quite easily. Now, learning things like this when you're new to karting can be quite tricky, but if you want a fast and easy way to improve your skills, then why don't you try out my new project in collaboration with AiMotor. Here you will receive personal coaching tailored to your needs by me, myself and I, with the help of artificial intelligence, and we can really make you faster on track. And the best part? It's online, so that means that we can do it anywhere, anytime, and it only costs a fraction of what a full day with a coach on track would cost. The AI is super advanced. You can ask it setup related questions, driving related questions, and it can find a lot of time in your data. And it works just like ChatGPT. You insert your data, you ask it a question, and it just gives you the answer. So are you interested in me becoming your coach? Go to the description, find some more information and sign up using the link in the description. Go down there. Anyways, after that we tried some more things with the setup, which gave us a little bit of mixed results. Well guys, day's over, was a bit wishy-washy. We tried a lot of things with the engine because we found quite a lot of time there. But then we tried something else and then it didn't work again, and then we were a lot of the pace in the last session and just, yeah, like that. Now, let's go to our little bed and breakfast, because apparently we are sleeping at a very nice place. Well guys, I have to say, this is the fanciest place we have had this year so far. Just look at the bathroom here. Nice old school farmhouse. And do you like it?
Yes, I like it.
But yeah, it looks very cozy and yeah, nice. Wow. So let's order some food. Alright guys, good morning, day 2. So yeah, today we need to find a little bit more pace than yesterday. I already secretly did one session and we did find a little bit more pace, so that's nice. The weather seems to be a little bit better too. There's some dark clouds over there, but we actually have sun today, so that's nice. And yeah, let's try a few more sessions today and then we'll see what happens. Alrighty, time for day 2. This day will also consist of practice, but things will get a little bit more serious. Because we have qualifying at the end of the day, people will start optimizing for qualifying. They will put on better tires, they will put on a better engine, they will optimize their setup, and overall, lap times will just get faster. But this time, that was also the case for us. In the first session, we could immediately improve our lap time over yesterday, setting a lap time of well below 51 seconds, which no one had done yesterday so far. Now, one way in which you can tell if the driver is fast is that the steering wheel is barely moving as he turns into the corner. Now, it's kind of in the name, but what this means is that you basically use the pedals to make the corner. You only use the steering wheel on initial turning, when you just flick the kart in the right direction and you complete the rest of the turn with both the brake and the throttle pedal. And sometimes you even press the throttle and the brake at the same time in karting. This technique works really well with lower powered and less grippy karts, like rental karts or in our case the Tillotson T4. If you want to be fast in a corner, you need to rotate the kart as quickly as you can, whilst also maintaining a high minimum speed. And with pedal steering, you achieve both. Now, having this amount of pace is essential if you want to be a rear gunner for the championship leader. So I wanted to check if we were fast enough, so I waited for him on track, started following him, and when I saw that our pace was pretty much the same as his, I was satisfied. Another thing that we found was that this corner in the second sector was a super easy overtaking spot. You approach the corner at a pretty high speed, the entry is super wide and the minimum speed is super low. The super tight exit makes it almost impossible for the other driver to do a switchback, so next time you see a corner like this on your own track, you can do dive bombs like these. So that's a good thing to keep in mind for our race. Now, for the rest of the day, unfortunately, we had some technical issues with the carburetor and the engine. We just couldn't really get the setup to work properly, which can happen sometimes. But unfortunately, that does mean that we now have an even bigger straight line speed disadvantage. Great. And to make matters even worse, we kind of messed up qualifying. And at the time I was pretty upset about this, so I just started mumbling off about how great our bed and breakfast was.
Alright guys, we are back in the bed and breakfast, and yeah, let's talk about the bed and breakfast first. But yeah, and again a day with lots of issues with whole sorts of mechanical stuff, which is annoying. Then to make things worse, I messed up my own quali lap. Yeah, I just dipped one wheel onto the grass on my best lap, and then I was P14, so that's not good. So we have a bit of work to do tomorrow. Hope it will be well. Yeah, all I can do is just try and push one last time this season. Anyway, I'm going to have some food. See you guys tomorrow.
Race day. So today we will have 3 races which all count towards the championship and the final day result. So it is super important that we as a team score super consistently in all of those 3 races and that we outscore our main rivals. So let's just quickly go over the championship situation. Our teammate Jon Bremer is leading over the 2 Texel drivers Julian Altelaar and Jamie Elzerman, but only by a few points. I'm right behind them in P4, but like I said, it's mathematically possible to get P3, but it's highly unlikely. Also, it's really unlikely to lose our P4 to the drivers behind, so we're pretty solid in there. This made me a perfect candidate to race in the best interests of the team. But in order to fulfill my role, being in P14 is no good, so we have to fight towards the front. So let's start this race and see how far we can get.
Now, things over the course of this 2024 campaign have really been heating up between the 2 entities. So today, expect some hard, robust racing and also the odd political mind game or 2 here or there. Speaking of shocking results, Bramos Avada, this year's 2024 T4 Tillotson Senior World Champion, had an absolute nightmare in yesterday's qualifying session, as he's going to be starting all the way down in 14th. So, revs up, lights on, lights out. We're underway for the first race of the day here in TT Assen. It's a great start from Altelaar and a great start from Bremer.
Ooh, that's a bit of a scruffy start. But we survived, gained a place, and more importantly, Bremer took the lead. But as soon as he took the lead, the dirty game started.
So Bremer takes the lead into turn 3, but here comes Damon Witte. No! They've just made contact. Bremer goes off, Witte goes off, and this will be a big dent in the championship hopes of Bremer after that incident.
Well, that's unfortunate, but I'm afraid also completely predictable. Bremer has lost a lot of positions and now has to fight all the way back to the front. And I knew that if I wanted to be of any use, I would have to do the same. So let's engage hunting mode.
Man on the move, Osavada now up 6 places after lap 2 has been completed. Our 2024 T4 Senior World Champion is making moves left, right and centre, and he's fighting his way to the front, which is definitely where he knows it's the place to be. Osavada now up to P7. He's just set one of the fastest laps of the race, and we saw him struggle with some issues yesterday. But at least for now, he seems to have found a way to drive around the problems that he's facing. It's 6th on the line for Osavada after penalties applied, P5, but look who finished behind him, Jon Jelle Bremer.
So that race was a great recovery drive for both Bremer and me. This puts us in a really good position for the next race, because the starting grid of the next race is the same as the finishing result of the previous race. Pretty easy, right? That means that for race 2, we are starting P5.
So we're underway for T4 Senior Race number 2. It's Altala leading from Klerk, closely followed by Elterman. But here is the man on a charge, Bram Osavada, up to P3, courtesy of Justin Klerk. Elterman now goes for the lead. Osavada goes through behind him, and Altala has to settle for 3rd currently.
Fantastic start. P5 to P2. That's how I like it. And after that, I let Bremer overtake me to secure maximum championship points. And then it was time to activate Sergio Perez mode.
And this is absolutely perfect for Bremer. Look at Osavada. He's holding up Julian Altala, allowing Bremer to chase after Alsman for the race lead. Altala slips through though, and now the hunt really begins. The chase is quite clearly on.
So we held up Altala quite a bit there, but we were just no match for his superior pace. So now it is time to help the team even more and secure better finishing positions for all of my teammates. Pit Parts has helped me a lot during the last few years, so this is the perfect time to me to give something back to them.
Public service announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, you can forget Sergio Perez because he's been replaced. We have a new Minister of Defence and his name is Mr. Bram Osavada.
I held up absolutely everyone in this race, and that allowed all of my teammates to take better positions. And remember, P4 in the championship wasn't really going to change for me, so if I finished first or last, it didn't matter. And even though I drove the most selfless race of my life and maybe even of the history of racing drivers, I still somehow managed to take P7 after penalties were applied, but more importantly, Bremer finished in front of Altala. So we definitely did our job for this race. All Bremer had to do now was not finish too far behind the Tessel guys. So let's see how that worked out.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's just give some context to what we have here right now. It's the final showdown, the final race of T4 Senior for 2024 here for T4 Series Netherlands. In the blue corner, it's Kart School Tessel. In the red corner, it's Team Pit Parts. Well, who will be our 2024 champions? I can't wait. I know you can't either. We're about to find out very shortly. As for the final time this season in 2024, we are off and racing. It's a great start for the Tessel drivers as they claim first and second, but remember, with Jon Jelle Bremer in P3, this is not enough for any of them to take any of the titles up for grabs. It's a powder keg. That's what this race is. It's like someone waiting to light the fuse and make sure that it blows up and explodes, because currently Tessel and Pit Part drivers comprise the entirety of the top 7.
Yes, Alex, that's exactly right. And we didn't have to wait long before our teammates got attacked again.
Now Witte goes for the move on Doornbosch, but they touch. Oh, and Osavada has nowhere to go. Oh, heavens on earth, what has just happened right there? I cannot believe my eyes.
And this kerfuffle cost us some time, and we are now down to P7. So we haven't really talked about Bremer in this race, have we? So let's do a quick recap. So at the start, the Tessel drivers took P1 and 2, and Bremer slotted in P3 behind. All he had to do to win the title was just stick behind them and finish the race in P3. So Altala, who was in P2, also still had a chance of winning the title, but in order for him to make a chance, he had to win this race. So he knew this was true, and that's when he decided to go for an all-or-nothing dive bomb on Elzerman in P1, and that did not go well.
So yellow flags out in sector 2. Oh, turn 7, one kart in the barriers. Can't make out who that is. Meantime, out of the race is JB Elzerman. He's out of the title fight. Altala is driving around without a front bumper, which he is definitely going to get punished for. And you know whose position I wouldn't want to be in right now? That of the Tessel team manager.
That means that we gain a position and finish P7 on the road. But more importantly, Team Pit Parts Dutch champions.
But they've done it! Team Pit Parts have done it! T4 Senior Champion, T4 Senior Rookie Champion, T4 Mini Champion, Masters Champion, Junior Vice Champion, and Senior World Champion in 2024. What a success they've had this year. What a Cinderella story to cap off the season.
Hey guys, this is RedExions in editing. And I forgot to say, we got freaking P3. Yeah, amidst the chaos of defending and penalties and the DNFs happening, we somehow got 3rd overall. So, nice. Okay, back to the video.
And guys, what a year it has been for the team. They threw everything at us, but we persisted, stayed consistent, and we stayed focused, and that gave us a whole bunch of titles. We just have one more race remaining for 2024. And it is a race in a class which a lot of you guys have been asking for a long time. So stay tuned for that one. Anyways, this video is over. And whilst you're waiting for the next one, why don't you take a look at the race in which we became the Tillotson T4 World Champion. This video, however, is over, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.